Hello, everyone. I'm North Hempstead Town Supervisor Judy Bosworth. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have embarked on creating a virtual exercise series for our senior residents. We partnered with our Project Independence fitness instructors to host these virtual classes, which will allow you to stay fit and healthy by participating from the safety of your home. Please enjoy.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Miller, and I will be guiding you through this gentle yoga class on North Hempstead Television. We'll start out on the mat, warming up, and we'll move into some standing poses, and then we'll come toward the end of our practice, finding our Shavasana. You may notice that I'm wearing socks. The socks have a little bit of rubber on the bottom to keep you from sliding. So when you're doing standing poses on your mat, you never want to have socks unless they have some kind of rubber that'll keep you from sliding. So just a little information, because usually I don't wear socks when I'm on the mat unless they're yoga and it gets a little colder out. So I like to have socks on my feet. So I just wanted to say that you can find these socks at Target or other stores if you want to. So that all being said, let's all find a nice comfortable seat on our mat, making sure that you have any props that you like to use. I always have blocks nearby, brings the earth a little bit closer, whether I'm in a seated pose and I just want to reach out, or put a block under my leg, or if I'm in a standing pose, maybe coming into a triangle pose and I want to bring the earth a little bit closer. Also, you can do this entire class seated on a chair. I will be giving cues throughout the class that will also give instruction how to do certain poses on the chair. If you're finding any of the instructions complicated on the chair, then just do what makes you feel good. Do your favorite stretch. Make sure that chair is stable and does not move around at all. So now, that all being said, just having your handy props nearby, just gently close your eyes. Breathing in and out through the nose, finding your comfortable seat, and maybe that means your legs are extended or you have a block under one leg. Finding what's comfortable for you and what will help you to stay in this warm-up seat for a few moments. And if you're on the chair, just start grounding down into your seat. Inhales and exhales for everyone. Gentle breaths in and gentle breaths out through the nose. Breathing in, and as you're breathing in, think of positive things in your life. People that are very positive, things that you're doing in the future. Anything that makes you smile. Take that breath in and think of that thing or person or event. And on the exhale, just release and let go. Allow the body to soften. Inhales, breathing in all that positive energy, filling up your lungs all the way down to your seat. And then on those exhales, that releasing breath, just let it go. Breathing in, positiveness. Crown of the head is reaching up toward the sky. Shoulders stacked over the hips and spine is aligned. Inhales and exhales. Those exhales, those releasing breaths. Imagine that any tension you're holding in your body floats out on those exhale breaths. Bringing in the positive breath filling up with that smile, and exhaling to release and soften and finding balance in the seat. Very important, trying not to favor one side or the other, just finding that nice balance. And slowly, let's all bring our arms to a T. Turn the palms up toward the sky. Inhale those fingertips up, keeping the arms nice and engaged, turning the palms down, connecting to the breath. Exhale, lower down, tapping your fingertips on the earth. Inhale those arms up, and exhale to lower down. Really connecting to the breath here. And this time, let's bring those hands up, palms and fingers together, and lower to heart center. And let's go ahead and set our intention for class today. Whatever that intention is, it's something that you intend to accomplish. And that could be something you intend to accomplish during your class today. Maybe finding balance, or maybe, I always like to say, maybe just coming to your mat or your chair to do the class is what you intended to do. And then know that you've accomplished that already. Take a nice full breath in, and then exhale. And then if you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone or something that of course brings you joy and positive energy. So when you come back to your dedication throughout your practice, maybe a smile comes to your face. Maybe you're breathing in that positive energy from the beginning breaths of class. Nice deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale. And then just return to the rhythm of your natural breath. And then we're going to inhale those fingertips up. Of course, we're going to cross all the fingers, turn the palms up. Slowly exhale, pushing those hands forward, lowering down. Inhale, pushing up. Keeping those arms nice and engaged. Exhale, lower down. And one more time, inhale up. And then just slowly parting the fingers and lowering the hands onto the knees, finding that yoga seat where the spine is aligned, shoulders are stacked. At any point, you can extend your legs out. If you're feeling a little bit stiff, listen to the body and just take a stretch. We're going to warm up our cervical spine now. So very important to align the spine, shoulders stacked over the hips, crown of the head's reaching up. Arms are a little bit soft, and just turn the head to the right and pause, and center and pause, and to the left and pause. And just do that a few times at your own pace. Breathing, breathing, breathing. In and out. And then just gazing forward, making sure that yoga seat's nice and aligned, and slowly lower the right ear toward the right shoulder. So you're lowering the right ear toward the right shoulder, trying not to bring the shoulder up to meet the ear. So it's just a very gentle guide. We're stretching out the left side of the neck. Nice gentle guide, right ear toward the right shoulder. Don't force it. And then slowly and gently exhale, lowering your chin toward your chest, rolling the chin here. And then we're just going to roll our heads back nice and slow, not going back too far at all, just gazing up over your head, and exhale, gazing forward. And let's slowly lower the left ear now toward the left shoulder. We're stretching out the right side of the neck. So many poses you notice that one side goes deeper than the other. And that's perfectly normal. It is for me on almost every pose where I balance out and doing one side and the other. My right ear always gets a lot closer toward my shoulder, where my left ear not as much. So I'm stretching out the right side of my neck now. Perfectly normal. Slowly exhale, lowering your chin toward your chest. And then rolling the head back nice and slowly. Gazing up and then gazing forward. Bring those arms to a T. Let's inhale, realigning that spine. We're going to take a twist to the right. So we're going to bring the right hand behind our back. If you're on that chair, use the back of the chair to kind of help you come into the twist. But always for everybody, whether you're on the mat or the chair, it's a guide. Remember, we're guiding. We're never forcing. So we inhale here and exhale. That's when the body softens. And that's when we're able to come into the twist a little bit deeper. You're releasing the breath, the body softens. So if you think about a balloon and what happens to a balloon when the air comes up, you can move it in a lot of different directions. I'm not saying that's what we can do with our body, but that's kind of, the process that's happening to the body as we exhale. Inhale, we lengthen. And inhale, we lengthen. Exhale to twist. Hips are forward. So my hips are forward. I am twisting with my upper waist. My shoulders are moving toward the right. My left hand's on the outside of that right knee. Still breathing. Always breathing. I cue breath a lot, but if I don't cue breath, it doesn't mean you should hold your breath. Just really continue with the pattern of your breath. And let's slowly come back to center, realigning that spine, inhaling. And then exhaling, twisting to the left. Left hand now comes behind the back. Right hand on the outside of that left knee. Breathing, inhaling, exhaling. Again, taking your breath in, spine is aligning, left hand's nice and close to the back, to your spine, or you really have a good grasp on the back of the chair. And slowly coming back to center, inhaling those arms up to realign the spine. And then we're going to lower the hands down onto the mat, or if you're on the chair, you can just lower your hand onto the side of the seat and just kind of grab onto it gently. We're going to do some side stretching now. So if you have a block and you want that nearby, I always keep it nearby my hand. We're going to ground the right hand into the earth. And then we're lifting the left hand up and then over to the right. You can also do your elbow up here, or you could keep that left hand up toward the sky. Whatever feels better. Listen to the shoulder, listen to your side. Don't overextend, but get a nice stretch here. We're going for a nice stretch of the left side of the body. So inhale, we're reaching, and exhale, releasing the breath. If you have a block or a book, you can also, on the exhale, come down onto that forearm. Really stretching that left side nice. If you feel the left side seat lifting up, which happens sometimes, use that forearm or the palm to kind of slide you down so you're staying nice and kind of balanced in your seat. One more breath. Nice stretch. Exhale. Coming down to the forearm or staying up, whatever feels right. And then we're going to push that right hand into the earth. Inhale the hands out to a T. Nice inhale, realigning the spine. Exhale, lowering down. Walking the left hand out now to the left side. So again, I have my block nearby, depending on how I feel. Again, one side's always different than the other, so you're never really sure how it's going to go. So I have everything I need nearby just to kind of help support me, bring the earth a little closer, ground that left hand. Right hand comes up and over. Inhale, we're reaching, we're stretching from the tip of that middle finger on the right hand all the way down to the seat. So if you're on the chair, you've got that left hand is grounded up against the chair, and so when you're stretching the right side of the body. Inhales and exhale, coming down to the forearm, or again, you can come down to the block. And remember, blocks are great because they have so many different directions you could use them to bring the earth closer. Same thing on this side. If that right side lifts up, use that left hand or the left arm to keep your seat grounded. One more breath. And push that grounded hand into the earth. Realign that spine. Inhale up. And then lowering the hands onto the knees. Now is one of my favorite poses to do seated is our seated cat and cows. That's when we warm up the rest of our spine. We've warmed up the cervical spine, we've rotated the shoulders, we've aligned the spine, and now we're going to start stretching it. So placing your hands on the front of your knees, softening those elbows, inhale that chest up, bringing the abdomen forward, arms are soft, gazing up, and then we're going to exhale. Remember, that's when we release the breath and the body softens, straightening out the arms, rounding the spine, chin to chest. If you're on the chair, you can move a little bit forward as long as the chair doesn't tilt in any way. So Coming back into cow, we inhale, chest comes up, arms soft. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the spine. Oh, I just love this. And just do that a few times, a couple of times. Nice. Those exhales, oh, so beautiful. Just releasing and letting go. And then inhale, we power up with positive energy, thinking about all those great things and people we like to think about. And one more exhale. And then coming back to your comfortable seat. So we're going to come into a very gentle forward fold before we come into our standing poses. Have your props nearby. If you're seated on the chair, you're going to hinge forward over the top of your legs. You can take any props that you want to put on the top of your legs on the chair to bring the earth a little bit closer in that way. And same thing on the earth. So I've got my blocks nearby again. Don't know if I'm going to use them, but I have them handy. Taking our thumbs and just pushing your thumbs into your hip crease. This is where we're going to hinge from. We're going to hinge from that hip crease coming forward. So my spine's nice and aligned. I've kind of angled my chest up toward the sky to align the spine. And then I'm hinging forward. From that part where my thumbs are, I'm coming forward and I'm just coming down until I notice my neck rounds or my spine does. And then I just bring my hands out in front of me. If you want, you can put your forearms on the block. You can also have your blocks on your lap. So whatever is comfortable for you. Most important thing in a forward fold, if you have any discomfort in the lower back, you walk yourself up until that discomfort is gone. You want to walk, you don't want to go toward the pain by coming forward. You want to lessen that. You don't want to have any discomfort. So listening to the body, just coming into that forward fold. Maybe using your blocks. Maybe your arms are out in front of you. Maybe your forearms are on the block. Maybe your forearms are on the earth. And slowly start to push yourself up. Nice and slow till you're up to that yoga seat. Arms come to a T, and then inhale those hands up. Nice. Realign that spine. Maybe lift that left hand up a little bit higher than the right. And then do the right a little bit higher. And then both hands. Nice. And then let's slowly extend the legs out, or however your legs are, and just stretch them out a little bit. Get that blood flowing again. Maybe rotate the ankles a little bit. And we're going to bring the knees together, and we're going to find ourselves in tabletop. So I always have a blanket for my knees. So when you're coming into tabletop, it's all about balance and alignment, which most of yoga is. It's all about balance and alignment. So you take your blanket, because the skin on the knees are very thin. So a little extra cushion is really good for the knees when you're in tabletop. So just going to line the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, tops of the feet are on the earth, gazing down toward the front of the mat. So you want to make sure your cervical spine is aligned with the rest of your spine. To kind of come into tabletop, we do a spinal balance too, and you want to make sure everything's aligned. But for now, let's just start to move the hips from side to side. Nice and slow. You're getting a good benefit. If you rush through it, you might not be getting as much of a benefit from this as you should. Taking your time, and it's also less of a chance of injuring yourself. Maybe move the hips to the left and shoulders to the right. And then doing the same thing on the other side. Taking your time, continuing to stretch the side, a little bit of a twist. Rotating the hips, rotating the shoulders. So there's a lot going on here. Breathing through it. And then coming to stillness. And let's start to lower, let's bring the hips to the right and slowly start to lower the seat toward the heels. Bringing the hips up to the left. And then doing the same thing. You don't have to go all the way down. In fact, you can go very slightly down, just listening to your body, just to get a little bit more rotation in the hips and the seat area, because we were seated for a while. And then just come to your neutral tabletop. We're going to find our way coming into our standing poses. We're going to do one downward dog to come up, and then one downward dog when we return down onto our mat. So finding that tabletop, we're going to curl our toes under, and if you are not comfortable with coming into downward dog, then just find your way to a standing pose at the back of your mat. So we're going to curl the toes under. I always like to move everything off my mat, and we'll do that also when we come up. And just take any movement in your downward dog that is comfortable for you. Ears are between your biceps, to moving one leg, moving the other, coming to stillness, and slowly walk your hands to meet your feet at the back of the mat, softening the knees, crown of the head reaching down toward the earth, coming into a half lift. So the hands are on your shins or a block, or fingertips are on the earth, whatever you're feeling today. And then we're going to come into that forward fold and slowly rise up one vertebra at a time until the crown of the head is up. Once the crown is up, then let's sweep those arms up. Nice and high, nice full body standing stretch. And then we're just gonna exhale the arms now into a low circle like a sunset. And then inhale into a sunrise, palms and fingers together, and lower to heart center. So if you're at the back of your mat, you've got your hands together. If you're seated on the chair, your feet are grounded, hands are at heart center. We're gonna send that right foot forward. Right foot comes forward, back foot's parallel with the back of the mat. We're coming into warrior two. So again with my socks have a little bit of rubber underneath that keeps me from sliding on my mat. So either you should have those types of socks on or barefoot, making sure you're not sliding around. So right knee is over the right ankle, my right heel intersects that left foot, arms coming to a T, gazing over the right fingertips, warrior two. Shoulders are stacked. That back hand, check that back hand out, that left hand. That hand should also be at shoulder height. Just staying focused, listen to your body. So we're in warrior two here. I'm gazing over the middle fingers on my right hand. Arms are at a T, right knee. Look, my right knee is a little bit past my ankle. That means that my feet may be a little too close together. So I'm just gonna extend that right foot out a little bit further. There you go. We're gonna turn the palm up and come into peaceful warrior. So that left hand's coming down my left leg, right hand's coming up and over, stretching out that right side. You can bring that left hand, if you want, behind the back to the right side of the hip, or you can keep that left hand on the leg, whatever feels comfortable as we're stretching that right side in peaceful warrior. And then slowly coming back to your warrior two for a couple of breaths here. Nice. And then we're going to come back into peaceful warrior. So the palm comes up, left hand on the left leg. We're not going to be in peaceful long because we're going to move into side angle pose from here. So keeping your feet still in warrior two, we're going to bring that right elbow to the right knee. You want to bring the right elbow to the right knee, but you don't want to kind of put all the weight on that right knee. Just kind of lead it gently. Then we're bringing that left hand up and over, or if you want, you can butterfly the arms up, and then you've got a block nearby. You could put that bottom hand on the block in any direction and butterfly, whatever you're feeling. And then we're just going to slowly engage our core and move back into peaceful warrior. So taking your time, nice and slow, and then that right hand comes back over into warrior two, and then slowly coming back into warrior two. And now we're going to straighten out that right leg, pivot the right toes forward, and we're going to move into a wide leg forward fold before we do warrior two on the other side. And remember, you can heel toe your feet together, heel toe your feet apart. You can bring the toes in, whatever gives you comfort coming into your wide leg forward fold. If you're on the chair, you're just gonna hinge forward and coming onto the top of the legs. So from the standing pose, you can soften the knees, you can fold over from the lower back, and then bringing your hands down onto the mat. You can tent the fingers, you can put your hands on your blocks, whatever it is that gets you into your wide leg forward fold. Just bringing the hands to the earth for a moment, softening the legs, and then maybe straightening them. Let's grab onto opposite elbows, and we're gonna come into a ragdoll wide leg forward fold. So I'm really thinking about that lower back. I'm trying to really ragdoll my whole upper body. I'm gonna move the right elbow toward the right knee, and then the left, and just swaying a little bit, and maybe straightening out one leg and then the other. And then coming to stillness, lowering the hands down, softening the knees to rise up, bringing those arms to a T, pivoting the left toes now toward the back of the mat, coming into warrior two on the left side now. So we're gazing over those left fingertips. Long hair, you get all kinds of hair floating all over the place. It's good though. So that right hand is at the same height as the right shoulder, that back hand, gazing over the left fingertips, opening up that chest, left knee is over the left ankle. I'm in a much better position than I was on the other side. My left knee isn't passing. Just paying attention to your knee, any discomfort, you can always straighten out the knee. You can come out of it listening to the body. Let's turn that left palm and coming into peaceful warrior. Right hand's on that right leg, stretching out that left side. Oh, it feels so good, right? You can bring that right arm to the left side of the hip behind you if you want, or leave it on the leg, whatever you're most comfortable with. And let's come on back into that warrior two. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Let's turn the palm up again, back into peaceful warrior. Left hand's reaching toward the right side now, stretching out the left side. And we're gonna come into side angle pose. So now we're bringing that left elbow to the left knee. Again, you don't wanna put all the weight on that left knee. We're just kind of guiding that left elbow toward the left knee. You can bring that right arm up and over, or if you want to butterfly the arms open, you can use a block. Whatever is comfortable. We're going to engage the core and come back into peaceful warrior. Nice and slow, no rush here. Taking your time. Finding your way back into warrior two. Straightening out that left leg now. Pivoting that left foot forward. We're going to find a wide leg forward fold here. But before we do, we're going to do a very, very gentle back bend. I don't even really like to call it a back bend, so pay very close attention. Let's go ahead and turn the palms up toward the sky and just bring your hips forward very, very gently. Take a nice full breath in and a slow exhale, and just open the shoulders so that it's just the shoulder blades behind you coming a little bit closer. Like you're not even moving your arms. It's the shoulders that are moving the upper body. And just gaze up, and that's it. And please listen to the body. If this is something that's too uncomfortable, come into a standing pose. Come back into your forward fold. Do a pose that you're more comfortable with. Listen to your body. Now we counter this very gentle back bend by doing another wide leg forward fold. And this time we're gonna round the spine. So breathing in to rise up, and then exhale, lowering down, softening the knees, rounding the spine, and lowering down. Right back into that wide leg forward fold. And then slowly rise up, bringing those arms to a T, turning those palms up, hands together, lower to heart center, and then we're going to heel toe the feet together. Not easy to do with rubber on the bottom of the socks, but you do what you can. and we're going to do a little bit of balancing. So wherever you are on your mat, you want to be standing with the shoulders stacked over the hips. The hips are stacked over the ankles. Feet are nice and grounded. Pay attention to your feet. A lot of times we take our feet for granted. We're not thinking about it. When you kind of pay a little bit of attention to the feet, balance will come a little easier. Notice what your mat feels like under your feet. Maybe roll onto the balls of the feet and then back onto the heels and lift the toes up a little bit and back onto the front of the feet. And then grounding down and just kind of start to notice what it feels like on the feet with your weight balance. Let's bring our arms to a T, hands together, lower to heart center. Then start to shift all your weight onto the right leg and the right foot. Your foot is your foundation, so you'll notice a little bit of a difference with all the weight on the right foot than when you're balanced. Once you've got that nice and balanced, we're going to pivot the left leg toward the left side of the room. So we're coming into tree pose. You want to pivot all the way up to the hip, not just kind of turn the leg. Like really get that whole leg turned toward the left. Palms are together. Bring that left foot up against the inside of that right leg. You can keep the left foot grounded. You can bring the left foot to the inside of the shin or to the inside of your thigh. Whatever you're most comfortable with. You just don't want the left foot to touch any part of the knee area. So you want the left foot inside or above. If you have a lotus, you want to take a half lotus, you can do that. Or you can just lean. Locate a spot on the wall in front of you, your drishti, your focal point, something that is not moving to help with balance. Be kind of mindful of that right foot, that grounded right foot. And find your tree. We're going to inhale those hands up and opening up our branches. And maybe it's a little breezy out, so you're moving the arms and the fingers and the wrists. Nice. Let's inhale, bringing the hands together and lower to heart center. Bring that left knee up before you put it down. See if you could extend it out and then slowly lower down. Nice. And then we're going to shake out the right side. And then of course we're going to do tree on to the left foot. But let's inhale those hands up. Nice full body stretch. Palms and fingers together. Lowering to heart center. Shifting all the weight now onto the left foot. And we're going to pivot that right foot now toward the right side of the room. All the way up by the hip area. Notice what your mat feels like under that grounded left foot. Hands are together. Locate your drishti. Inhale those hands up and open up your branches. Remember keeping that right foot away from the knee. We're below or above that left knee. Or ground that foot up against that left foot, whatever you're feeling. Bringing those palms together. Lower to heart center. Right knee comes forward. Extend that out. Oops. And then lower down. We're going to inhale the hands up and exhale into a forward fold. Nice and soft forward fold. Maybe softening the knees. You can bring the hands onto your blocks. Coming to that half lift. Hinging forward, halfway between the earth and the sky. You can lower the hands to the earth, onto a block, a pillow, a book, any prop that you may have. Exhale, soften the knees if you want into that forward fold. And slowly rising up. Bringing those hands to a T. Nice. Lowering the hands to heart center. And before we come down onto the mat, we're just going to do awkward chair pose. So with your hands together, let's go ahead and soften the knees. We're going to bring the pelvis in. We're not sticking the seat out. We're bringing the pelvis in. I'm lifting my toes. My hands are at heart center. I'm going to lift my arms up. Palms are facing each other. So awkward chair. While you've got the hips coming in, you're lowering the seat down like you're going to come sit down on a chair while those toes are being lifted, balancing the weight on the back of the foot. Nice. Let's exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise up. One last nice full body standing stretch. Beautiful. And then exhale into your last forward fold, standing forward fold, placing the hands on the earth, sending your feet back, coming into our second and last downward dog, or meeting down in tabletop. So let's lower the knees, finding the tabletop position like we did earlier in class, and then starting to lower your seat towards your heels and finding your way onto your mat. I'm going to spin this way. Center of the mat, just like how I am here. I'm gathering up my blocks and props because we're going to recline down into our toward the end of class now. We're going to slowly lower ourselves down onto the mat. Engage the core here. Nice and slow. You can also have your hands behind your legs on the hamstrings and just help to kind of slowly lower you down. So you roll on the back. And when you get nice and comfortable with the upper back, we're going to extend the legs out and bring the hands up together. So your palms are facing each other and reaching those fingertips up so much that your shoulders are actually off the mat. Take a nice full breath in and then slowly open the arms to a T as you're reaching, nice and slow, so that you can actually feel your shoulders connecting to the mat all the way down to the arms coming to a T. So now that chest is nice and open. We're going to slide the arms closer to the body and walk the shoulder blades together underneath you. If you're on the chair, you can try to feel the shoulders up against the chair and opening up the chest. My palms are facing up toward the sky, and I'm just opening up the chest here for a few moments, taking a breath in and out. Nice deep breath and exhale. Good. And slowly start to bring the knees up toward the sky and the heels in toward the body. Now let's give ourselves a nice hug. Just moving from side to side. Moving from side to side. Coming to stillness now. Let's lower the feet to the earth. We're going to heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat and do some windshield wiper pose with to give our lower back a little bit of a massage and also to rotate those hips. So just windshield wiper those legs, imagining your legs are windshield wipers from side to side. And then come to stillness and heel toe the feet together. Bring the knees in, and this time place your hands on top of your knees very gently. You should have a little distance between the knees. And again, roll from side to side. Don't be afraid to go all the way down on one side and then the other. Giving that whole back a nice massage. One more time on each side. And then coming to recline on the back. And we're going to find our inversion right now. If you have a block and you want to put it under your sacrum, you can do that, or you could put your hands under your sacrum, or you can just send those legs up. So you want to make sure the shoulders are grounded. Inversions are so good for us. Helps with circulation. If you're someone that might have swollen ankles, things like that, I know people that do inversions for like 20 minutes a day find that it helps. Of course, you should always make sure that it's something safe for you to do. Soles of the feet are up toward the sky. Pointing and flexing, rotating the ankles. Your feet should eventually start to feel a little bit lighter in the legs too. Nice. And from here, we're just going to slowly bring the knees in toward the chest, lowering the feet down toward the earth. So if you're on your hands, just going to push onto the feet and remove your hands or remove the block, whatever you use, and slowly start to extend your legs out to the front of the mat, turning the palms up, coming into your brief Shavasana. Maybe you're opening up the chest a little bit more again with the shoulder blades, walking them together, gazing up toward the sky, breathing, breathing, breathing in and out, allowing the feet to open. Maybe coming back to your dedication in those positive breaths. Starting to move your head from side to side nice and slowly. Nice and slow. No rushing. Start to move those fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. We're going to send those hands up, way up over our head, and grabbing onto opposite elbows and just stretch on one side and then the other a little bit. Coming into a full body stretch now. Knees coming in toward the chest. Rolling onto your right side into Garbhasana, which is Fetal Pose. Left hand comes to the earth right in front of your heart, right hand is your pillow. Garbhasana is Fetal Pose. It represents a fresh start and a new beginning. Always a wonderful way to come toward an end of class, knowing that you have a fresh start. Let's slowly push ourselves up to a comfortable seat. Just like we were in the beginning of class, bringing your hands to heart center, chin to chest, breathing. I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to guide you through this gentle yoga class. As always, it's an honor. I do hope that you all take a class again on your Hempstead television. Om Shanti, 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 which means peace. Peace to you and to all of your families. Namaste.